Yeah, hi there everyone, this is Wade Crow once again for the Musician's Journal, and today I'm going to do a video on looking at some music distribution and a little bit of a discussion on that. I'll try not to make this too long. In the meantime, please like my channel, subscribe my channel, like some videos. It just helps get my channel going, get things going. I'm doing all this for nothing. So just sharing the information. I noticed that on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook, a lot of people are promoting, maybe videos of themselves playing guitar, and I'll be doing a bit of that. I've done a bit of that before as well. But I think it's really important that everyone start to really link with your viewership in more of a discussion format, rather than just putting up videos of you playing all the time and doing a gig here and doing a gig there. Oh, that's great, that's great. Let people get to know you, okay? And that's a little bit about what this video today is all about. And we're going to be covering, like I said, a bit about distribution, but also looking a little bit at sales and marketing, where you can go, how you can find these things, just with basic Google searches, seeing who's in your area, but also seeing the larger platforms that may or may not be useful to you. Okay, so that's what I'm going to look at today, and we're going to switch over right now. Going to jump onto the web, and I'm going to show you a couple of things, a distro service that I use, some other popular ones that are out there, and one or two other ideas as well. So please like, please subscribe, promote Wade Crow Audio, share it around, like me on Instagram as well. I do some videos there quite a bit, and I might even kind of cross over the Musician's Journal journey with little videos on there as well as here. So lots of good stuff, lots of exciting stuff. Okay, so let's just switch over for a moment. Okay, so I'm just going to show you a couple of things first. Let's look at music distribution. You want to do a Google search. I'll show you some popular ones that come up when you're doing a bit of a search. So basically, music distribution is for online services and basically setting yourself up to get your music on Spotify, Apple Music, things like that, but where people can access them and access your music, see a bit of a profile of you, and get to know you a little bit more. It's kind of an engagement, but I don't think it's as popular, or maybe not as powerful as it was when it first came out. In the last 10 years, we've seen a lot of innovation in music and especially technology, but the problem is that everything just gets so oversaturated very quickly, and so many people just continually, psychically just keep getting lost in the massive amount of brands and platforms and all these sorts of things that are coming out. I would love to see it streamlined down to about 3, maybe 4, and but I don't think that's going to happen. It's good to have a lot of choice. Variety in the market encourages competitiveness and new ideas, but oversaturation of the music industry, which is what we've seen for quite a while now. The same sort of bubbles keep sitting at the top, while everything else, all the good content is really down below. And you've got to dig deeper for that. So anyway, why don't we have a look at this? We've got music distribution. So TuneCore is a popular one, more for rock artists and things like that. You've got DistroKid, they're American. I think TuneCore is Australian, American, but there's an Australian version. And there's a few different ones, but I actually go with GYROstream, right? GYROstream is Australian. They're based in Brisbane, which is alright because I just moved from there. And you have quite a few, you'll find quite a lot. And the best thing is you want to set yourself aside a bit of time to do some good research, a couple of hours a day, or even an hour a day at the end of the day when you've done everything and you're just relaxing. Start to have a read through and find these things. So I use GYROstream, and I'm going to show you what they're like very shortly. But there is another, what would you say, perhaps distro. They're not exactly a distribution company like these ones are, but what they are is once you have your music and you have it all set up, you can go to what's called AMRAP, okay, which is Australian Music Radio Airplay Project, and basically it puts your music out into country and rural areas. And in Australia, a lot of artists do get their start through rural communities and country communities, right? Because these guys apparently tend to play your music a bit more often. Now, I have to say, I've not had much luck with this. I've been with these guys, I've sent many emails away to a lot of these people and no one even responds to you. So I don't know how good it is really, and how successful it's been. Maybe they're all just looking as usual for that one or two particular artists that's going to give them a bit more popularity because they found them. I get the sense that's what it's more about. But like I said, I've emailed many of these so-called broadcasters. Some of them just do it from home or a garage, so you got to sort of be careful who you look at. There's a lot of artists on here. These are some of their albums and stuff. Like I said, I am on here as well. It's not really bloody great. Yeah, well, we'll see. But it just seems that, it's very difficult to try and get into contact with them. Any of these kind of people, they never respond. So, but it's one thing it's worth putting your music up there and having a bit of a look. There are certain standards that you have to meet. Basically, your recording has to be Red Book standard, and I will do a video on that. It's basically more or less a professional mastering of your work. If you have social media sites and you have your music on there, that's also good to have too. It helps because you have to actually apply to this website to get your music on. Okay, now that's AMRAP. I'm going to go to GYROstream here, and before I go any further, I'm going to log in. So here I am, I'm in my account, and here's your dashboard. You can look at your sales and payments, you can look at your catalogue. So here's my catalogue at the moment. It's been delivered. Of course, they always want you to upgrade things. But it's actually pretty cheap to just sort of do a one-time payment. They keep your album up there. It stays there for a year. I think all up, it might have cost me $100, something like that. That's pretty cheap. And there's my renewal there. It's next month, next year. You can also do other things. I'll just go back to my dashboard. Look at your catalog. When you're creating a new release, you put your details up, songs, you answer all the iTunes pre-order dates, so you can actually set up a iTunes pre-order so people can go on and pre-order if they like your stuff. Upload your own artwork, all these sorts of things. You can check where you want your music to go. These are like actual online stores. This isn't just spamming on some websites. This is, you can choose what stores you actually want your music to go into, and they'll be put up there as well. So pretty good. Then you upload your tracks and then you pay for it. Right? All in all, I found GYROstream to be pretty easy to work with, pretty straightforward. Try to make sure you read as much as you can, just to so you understand what's expected of you when you put it up. When you're doing digital media artwork, it's different it's actually quite easy putting that up because you only have to have it to a certain size and a reasonable quality. When you're doing artwork for CDs, when you're submitting CD work, that's a different story, and it's actually a little bit more complex, right? So I'm going to show you that in a minute. But you have things like you can do publicity and marketing, so we'll go there and have a look. So these are all extra services, so you can do publicity campaigns. I am always skeptical on these sorts of things, but I find maybe the best thing to do is that if you can focus on getting, you're paying a lot of money for some of these, so you just want to be careful what you're paying. You don't want to do this and maybe get 20 or 30 followers. You want to make sure you get a couple of hundred at least, then it's worth it. You got your digital marketing, seeing your fans with Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Google, through Spotify and TikTok. Digital. So they do a bit of advertising and the creation kit for you, all that sort of stuff, right? $750, and they'll do all that for you. But you really want to find out how long the campaign runs for, You know, are you going to get noticed? What kind of times are they going to put these things up? But I'm sure it's all explained to you in here. But all in all, you can see that GYROstream does offer a lot of services for you to get yourself set up, get some information, but some of it's going to cost you money, right? And unfortunately, in this industry, you got to spend money to get attention before you can make money. It's not even spend money to make money. You just got to keep spending money, and sooner or later you start getting attention and getting the ball rolling. Then you got to keep the ball hot, right? So let's have a look what else they have. Artist services. Here's a good one. So if you need your actual artwork done, you can go to the graphic design, and they'll do artwork cover, CD covers, layout, and they'll organise all the layouts, all that sort of thing. Community radio servicing. So AMRAP, well, it's free to submit my music. I submitted there, I ticked this and it didn't show up, so I had to go and do it myself. So it's a bit of a hit and miss with some of these things, you know. Transfer music to GYRO, that's if you have music on other platforms, you can bring it over to GYRO. There's 10% off. If you live in Brisbane, you're a musician in Brisbane, you get 10% off studio hire at Airlock Studios, which is out at Sanford Valley. It's a beautiful area. I used to work out there, and I think that may be the studio recording of the fellas that did My Happiness. I forget the name of the band now, but they have a recording studio up that way, so it could be theirs. Registry Recordings, the PPCA, and all this things which we're getting neighbouring results. Yeah, well, I wouldn't worry too much about that. Apple Music video delivery. You know, video and content creation. Most of that you can do yourself with an iPhone these days. And if you know someone who's good at editing, or you're good at editing yourself, you can do that anyway. So, but heaps and heaps of services with GYROstream, guys. Heaps and heaps of services. You can look at your streaming analytics. I went in there just before and it said that I haven't had any views or anything, but I do have royalties from music that's been played. So I don't think that's working properly. Again, like I said, some things are a bit of a hit and miss. I did actually call these guys, and when I talked to them, I just found that they weren't very interested in talking to me as a paying customer of their service. They didn't seem to be very interested in talking to me at all, but they were to the point, and they got me an answer that I wanted straight away. It was over a year ago during COVID. I can't remember what the problem was. I think it was just to do with some getting stuff up online. I was nice. I called up, said, "Hey, how you going?" Right? Yeah, what's up? And that's kind of the response I got. So, not the friendliest people in the world, probably because they don't give a shit. But anyway, they have provided a lot of services. Just don't expect much on the human interaction side of things. That's my opinion. If they want to prove me wrong, then come out and do it. So that's me in this area here. So I'm just going to log out here. Alright, so that's GYROstream. I've also showed you AMRAP. Now what we're going to look at here is music promotion. Alright, so there's a lot of different ways you can get your music promoted. You can do it yourself and do it on Instagram and things like that. Or you can start to, I've done Fiverr. I've showed you Fiverr before. Alright, but you want to start looking at things like, where did I see this here? I think it's those. There was something here a moment ago. Okay, it's disappeared. Right. Music promotion, Australia. We'll try this one. So there's different ways that you can get your music promoted. Okay, promoting your music is different to distributing your music. When you distribute your music, you're just putting it in these avenues and having it accessible. Okay. When you're promoting your music and you're paying for promotion, you want to make sure you have flyers, posters, electronic pack, like a promotion pack. It doesn't have to be electronic, you can do it real, but you want to make sure you have all these things done, okay? That way when you go to these guys, they can really hand out your promotion packs, your CDs, all that sort of stuff, to radio stations, to other recording labels, to things like that. So I found this one here, AR Promotion. This is actually not far from where I live. And they say that they'll promote your music on the radio, to a number of different radio stations around Melbourne. as an example. And I know this because, so there's the project, there's 93 FM, there's Radio Brisbane, there's KISS, that's a Melbourne radio station. They're at Warner Brothers by the look of it, that's interesting. 106, that's a Melbourne station as well. I did submit my music with them. I emailed about 8 or 9 different DJs. I paid promotion, I paid my fees to get on specifically as an artist, not just a member. I heard nothing, no one ever got back to me. I constantly called, I asked, I tried to help them. I told them my music was submitted there, I followed all their rules, all their obligations, and I was completely ignored. At the end of the year, I pulled my subscription. I think they're just the most pathetic, terrible bunch of morons you could ever meet, if you get to meet them. It's a public radio station, it's just terrible. So if you can avoid them, personally I would avoid them. I will. You know, I tried more than 10, 12 times to make contact. No one ever returned calls, no one ever returned emails. So I would avoid these wankers as much as possible. And let's see, it's Channel 10 Studios and a whole lot of others. So you can see there's quite a bit there. You know, this industry, guys, is really hit and miss. You know, I think if you can do as much of this sort of stuff for yourself as you can, go visit radio stations, have a promotion pack, tell them you're the, or even choose someone from your band and say, I'm the manager. Here's a new band. This is what we're doing. This is what we sound like. What do you think? Get us a listen. What can you do? Can you slot us in somewhere? You know, you might have to pay some fees. You might have to talk to a promoter. Probably get a promoter. It would be my advice, but just find a good one. And anyway, so yeah, here's another idea: 5 ways to promote your music with $100. So just put in Music Promotion Australia, or Music Promotion US, or Music Promotion New Zealand, wherever you might be. Do your research, learn to do research as a musician. You've got to have 100 different hats. You know, I'm a producer, I'm a musician, I'm an audio engineer, guys. Like, you know, and I'm still struggling to try and get my foot in the door. Okay, to try and get attention, to try and build a fan base. It takes time, but it also takes a lot of working out how the system works, you know. And once you start to understand what's really going on, it's like, okay, maybe I can take this avenue, I can take that avenue. But the biggest thing is build your fan base. Okay, that's what I'm learning. That's what I'm realizing. And you build your fan base through social media, interaction with people, but getting out in the public and starting to talk to people and start to play your music, that's one thing. But when you finish a gig, go down and mingle with people. Don't try and be some superstar where you just remove yourself away from everyone. Go and talk to people. Let people tell you what your feedback is. Okay? So anyway, guys, that's just a quick video on this one. Next week I might show you mastering a track, and we'll cover some Red Book stuff. Okay, there's an app that I have that I can show you. You can use it in Pro Tools and just about any other DAW station that you may be using, and it helps you level certain things out. I'm also looking at a few other ways to set up a master, and I know I'm jumping around a bit. I'm just trying to cover a number of different issues as much as I can, so I just have to kind of go where I'm led, so to speak. All right, so at the end of the day, again, that's it for today. Please like, please subscribe on YouTube, on Instagram. If you haven't used Facebook, Wade Crow Audio is where you'll find me around the place. Okay, Wade Crow Audio, very simple, 3 words, easy to spell. Click the likes, click the subscribes. Please give me support. I'm helping to build this and put this out for people. If it doesn't get traction, I'll give it some time and maybe pull back a bit. Give it some time to maybe get some traction and see how it goes, and then just work on music, come back and show you what else I got. Anyway, in the meantime, thanks very much, and share it around. Good luck, keep playing.